around data centers and how their intersection works with energy transition, as well as all the infrastructure that you need to power GenAI tools and LLMs. They require a lot of computing power. But this is research from them, and you'll see a couple of other references in a minute. But it is very, very powerful. So we spent time trying to work with enterprises around the world and understand, last year or before that, what their forecast was around GenAI adoption. And then we went back and we asked people, how has the adoption actually been? 20 percentage point difference is the actual utilization of GenAI across the workflow tools and the products was, as opposed to what their forecast was. Now, for anybody, for all those people who think they are because of the dependent development, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. That bridge is very much here. And you'll need the tools and skills to be able to cross that bridge. And this is only, you'll see in a little bit some more information that further solidify this point. But really, really critical that we continue to equip ourselves with these systems. All my colleagues and team members at S&P know we have invested significantly in building the platforms and resources for our people have the ability to build these spaces. So all other organizations or representatives from other organizations I cannot stress more why it is imperative that we are spending the resources and time in building these tools and platforms. We've done a global partnership with Accenture that is developing baseline programs for AI skills for all of our 35,000 people across the globe. We have built in-house career paths which people can get on, learn AI skills, get certified, and then move into use those roles. I'll talk a little bit about the playground that we built for people where they can come and utilize those skills. Another very, very important element, and we get asked this question a lot of times. What is GenAI being used for? So if you look at all the various use cases, you see some of them set up on the screen, you will find 3 or 4 are right up our wheelhouse. This is not sort of a self-serving research, but research that really points and identifies the natural right to win that organizations such as S&P Global that deal with data have in this environment. Data distribution and data generation continue to be a very, very high use case of leveraging data. So if you are in a workflow in an organization where you're doing some of these activities and you're not leveraging generative AI, it is a huge opportunity for you to be able to leverage some of these tools and technologies. Employee training, coding assistance, we hear all of these things about, Gen AI is going to replace humans. We've grown up watching Hollywood that depicts some scary future scenarios. Without going into wilder imaginations, I think I heard this somewhere and it really resonated with me that AI can actually not replace humans, but what will definitely replace humans is a human that knows AI. How effectively are you able to incorporate it in your day-to-day lives? I'll give you a small example. I have a 13-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 20-year-old. AI has not figured out the 20-year-old. I can tell you that. Zero impact on anything I can do with a 20-year-old. I wish it was. For the 13-year-old and for the 10-year-old, if I'm the very few times, as my wife would say, that I am trying to make an attempt to teach them something or help them with their studies, I try to leverage AI extensively. To prepare mock exams, to give a summary, evaluate an essay that my daughter has written, or to give them a scenario that they can do some critical thinking and critical reasoning on. That is, unless and until all of us start leveraging and using this in our day-to-day lives, both personal and professional, it will not become skill. Self certificate is a very cheap that is a great start. Any skill that is there, you have to start using it, and only then it will become a part of your DNA, it will become a part of how you operate, essentially. And then, as I said earlier, investing time it's tough to find. I think all of us work anywhere between 10 to 12 hours a day. I can tell you it's tough to find time to invest in yourself, but you have to. Cut something, else. Social media, screen time is a great opportunity to cut. Spend time on, listen to a podcast, get into a certification. Only then do you build these skills. Coding assistance, I was talking to one of our divisional CTOs a couple of weeks ago, and he shared how using GitHub and other tools.
Please share my blog and like my blog. Thank you so much for coming, all of you.
Are able to drive efficiencies in their code development processes. So again, a huge use case where we can leverage generative AI. This was the other side I was talking about a couple of minutes ago. Investments. This is sort of fresh off the press. This went out a couple of days ago. The team within our ratings area did this research and marked how are private markets investing in these new technologies. And as you can see, year over year, investments in AI-related startups are up by about 70% to the tune of about $80 to $85 billion. Again, huge opportunity for people, companies, and individuals, and startup operators in Pakistan on how we can leverage some of these tools, how we can leverage some of this appetite that exists globally. To utilize some of these tools and technologies. If you see one specific call out, that a lot of these investments were done in late stage GenAI capabilities. One other and very important thing that you will find, you should check out this research, it's available on our website as well. It talks about how, this comes up in conventional innovation as well. You cannot just go and ideate or use GenAI to solve a random problem. It's fine, but it's not going to perhaps help you commercialize unless it is addressing a customer problem. So identifying customer problems and how customers interact with your products, and then leveraging the capabilities that GenAI gives you to be able to improve the client experience and productivity and decision making is what will really drive through that. And on that, if you talk a little bit about how S&P Global is leveraging generative AI, these are four principles that we will use to leverage generative AI and these new technologies. How do we enhance our product and services using GenAI features so that our clients can get more value? When clients get more value, we can serve more use cases, we can displace competition, we can increase our stickiness. Again, you may be over here who know, and those of you who don't, We are a subscription-based
सॉरी
business.
मैं आने से काट
Stickiness
के
is very, very important for us. We are commercial modeling and so are a lot of other businesses that are
बैठा हूँ थोड़ा बिजी
subscription-based. They want to make sure that people and their clients are relying on their products and services. Productivity, we will use GenAI capabilities to drive efficiencies in our internal workflows. You will see some examples of that shortly on how we have leveraged, whether it is data generation, whether it is writing code, whether it is improving the quality of code that we're writing, whether it is improving the efficiency and the rate at which we generate data, whether it is how we link the millions of data points that we have across various data sets. Small example I'll give you. I'm not sure if anybody here works in the private market space on the product side or the tool side. We used to require a lot of human beings and a lot of time to link private entities together. And now it's done at a rate of about 12,000 companies every day through a tool that we built internally. So just imagine if we were to link together and ingest 3 to 5 million private companies, which is pretty much what PitchBook and Frequent, which are competitors, that they cover, it would have taken us years and thousands of people. But by leveraging tools, we're able to do it a lot more quickly. So a lot of times people think that, a technology or GenAI specifically is a means to get rid of people. It's not really, that's a very limited use case. It's a means to get products out quicker, it's a means to build products more quicker, and it's a means to innovate in your products and services a lot more quicker. People, I already spoke about this, the investments that we're making in bringing opportunities for our people to learn generative AI skills. And then lastly, protection. This topic often gets overlooked, but that's why you see it in these central pillars. It is, as we do all of this, there are real concerns around data privacy, around protection of your proprietary data, around protection of your personal data. And we have committed that we will make sure that everything that we do around generative AI is going to be sort of embedded in the foundation of making sure that we are regulatory compliant, we are compliant with the regulations out there. There was this recent regulation in Europe. So again, for entities sitting in the room or people sitting in the room that are building products and services using these new technologies or using GenAI, extremely critical that you're mindful of what's happening in the regulatory space. Otherwise, marketing and selling the product around the world is going to become a challenge because there is a lot of awareness and conversation happening both from a regulatory compliance standpoint as well as at the individual. If you're building a consumer product that leverages generative AI, the consumers are going to really want to know how their data is going to be used. Is it going to have access to my personal information and how it's going to get acquired and how it's going to get distributed afterwards. So just something to be on top of. Now, leveraging some of these capabilities or some of these core principles, we've built this product called ChatIQ, which is essentially a product that sits on top of all of this global data in our platform, leverages large language models, and allows our clients to be able to interact with all our product features using plain language. Now imagine an investment banker that had to maybe go through at least 10 or 15 clicks, spend time on building a report or a pitch book. I'm sorry, these terms are slightly alien to non-SME folks, but these are all the workflows that we serve for our clients, both in the division area or investment management, or pretty much any client use case. So now the client only has to either type that this is what I need to see, and this capability will do all the querying, the searching, the table formation, all of that in the back end. So it saves time, it improves the accuracy of what you're looking for, and most importantly, it generates a superior customer experience. The reason I keep saying this is that if technology is not doing that for you or for your product, it's not really going to work. You can have a kick-ass, you can have a kick-ass solution embedded in your product, but if it is not elevating the customer experience, then it's not really going to add a whole lot of value to your bottom line or to your top line. So very, very important that the customer experience, whether you're building products or features at the individual level, whether you're building them at the entity or your company level, very important to keep that in mind. Spark is a tool that we built internally. Remember I spoke a few minutes ago about the capabilities that we're investing? I'm going to put people on the spot here to get a bit of people moving as well. How many people from S&P Global have built a Sparky? Come on guys, don't put me in a tough spot. Yeah, decent number. Extremely critical. I'll tell you how you set the tone for something like this, but let me explain the platform first. So this is a platform that we built for all things internal that we insist all our colleagues use regularly for stuff that they do. So I use Spark for summarizing content. I will or will not admit that Spark had anything to do with scouting content for this presentation. Or building a template for me to know and you all to find out. I will also tell you that we have very, very high usage across all our functions and employees of this tool. And this is what I was mentioning earlier. So you give people the ability to learn about a new technology, but you have to give them a platform to practice and play with it. And that's what Spark is. We call it Spark Assist, but the prompts that we write on it are called Sparkies, fun names. We did contests, a global contest around who can really leverage and build new capabilities using Spark. Very, very proud. We have a team winner for Pakistan and an individual winner for Pakistan in a global contest, which was fantastic to see. Just goes to speak to the adoption that we have here in Pakistan. And but something that, again, the best practice to share there is you can't just, in an enterprise or in a company that you are working in or running, you can't just speak about these things. You have to invest in making them a part of the regular workflow for people. I mentioned collection tools. If you recall this slide, I hope I wanted to go back. So data generation and distribution are the most likely users or the highest percentage users for GenAI. And if you look at this, I'm not going to go through all of these. Most of you S&P will be familiar with some of them. These are just some capabilities that we built in how we generate data. And they're mostly extraction tools that are data set specific, that look at fundamentals data, transactions data, data that needs to be linked together, whether it's people, entities, company structure. All of this improves the quality of how we do this, and obviously enhances the speed at which we are able to do this. So a lot of these capabilities have been built over, you see, DocSense. Smart people go through millions of documents every year. A lot of those documents do not have information that we really need. So there was at one point anywhere between a 30 to 40% wastage. So you go through a document, it doesn't have anything that you need. How do you find out? And we're trying to build dot relevance around so DocSense allows you to do that. It builds an AI and machine learning enabled capability that allows you to sort of clear out all the irrelevant documents and only go to a document that has information that you're looking for. Imagine the applications. And the interesting thing is, a lot of these capabilities were built to solve an internal problem, to solve a workflow problem, or a throughput problem, or a quality problem. Now we have clients coming in, and because guess what? Our clients are facing similar problems in their own internal workflows. We have now been able to monetize some of these solutions commercially with our clients. Again, the use case for all our friends from outside of S&P is if you solve a problem for yourself, there's a high likelihood that in your client universe there are people willing to solve the same problem. So if it is adding value to you, there's opportunity to really commercialize it. Again, I'm not going to spend time and sort of go through each of these capabilities, but the broad point being, we at S&P Global started early in adoption. There was strategic decision-making and direction from leadership that we will be an early adopter. We will not wait for us to come and wait, let the bridge sort of arrive before start on this journey. We wanted to start early, invest early. That was a key driver in what we feel is a lot of success that puts us really up there. This is not just something that we're telling ourselves, by the way. You saw some of the statistics, and then you saw some of the tools that we built. These are industry-leading capabilities. When we go to clients and we talk to them about how we're leveraging generative AI, we see every day how we are at an advantage because of the investments that we made and the tools that we built. And the best practice to share with anybody who's looking to embark on that journey is start early, invest in education of the people, invest in building infrastructure, and sort of, adopt this Gen AI first mindset in your organization, because only then you will be able to truly leverage these new capabilities and commercialize them for your enterprise as well as for your clients. Thank you very much.
क्या मुझे सुन रहे हैं? मेरी आवाज़ आ रही है आप लोगों को? हेलो? मुझे मेरी बात
वो स्क्रीन पे आ
जब
जाए
आप बोलेंगे ना डेमो चाहिए
हाँ,
ये स्टार्ट
तब
कर
आप शिफ्ट कर दें।
शिफ्ट कर दूंगा मैं। एक सेकंड मैं आपको HTML देता हूँ।
लाइव बटन
लाइव बैठा हूँ YouTube।
हो जाएगा
अभी मेरे पास 3 लोग बैठे देख रहे हैं मुझे।
वैसे स्लाइड्स इसमें भी एक ही से करना है तो
फिर वो जब आप बोलेंगे ना डेमो असल में ना स्लाइड चाहिए
आप चेंज कर देंगे।
बस कोई इशू नहीं आपका कोई
हाँ ठीक है फिर मैं ना कर दो आप ना जरा मुझे क्लिकर दे दे
मैं सिर्फ आपको क्लिकर दे दूँगा।
माइक
ये आपके पास लग गया मैं इनसे
हेलो हेलो मैं आ रही थी इधर ऊपर
सर दिस इज फॉर यू।
क्या कह रहे देर में नहीं मैं बैठा हुआ है इनका ये बंद ही नहीं कर रहे थे बंद ही नहीं कर
ये लास्ट सेकंड एक सेकंड यस ऊपर